Okay, I think we will go ahead and get started. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Erin. I am the Education Services Manager here at TrainHeroic. I am hosting this masterclass series. It is a four-part series for our TrainHeroic FUZE coaching. Today is the fourth chapter of the four-part series, so it's our last one. If you haven't made it to the first three, you won't be behind today, but please, I do encourage you to attend the first three as well. You can find our webinar schedule on our website on trainheroic.com. There's a tab that says webinars on the drop down, and from there you can find our schedule. And we offer 3 webinars a week, and their topics rotate. So I'd highly recommend you hop on board for the first 3 chapters. The very first chapter is on account architecture, so whether or not you want to use Teams or how to use Teams. The second chapter is on programming, so all of the tips and tricks and tools that we offer to make programming faster and more efficient for you. Our third chapter is on rolling the platform out to your clientele, so making sure that that transition is smooth and you look professional. And then today, this final chapter, we are focusing on retaining clients by keeping them bought in. So we're going to discuss the tools within the platform that you can use to leverage engagement with your athletes and clients, and hopefully promote some client retention, and also possibly some referrals to grow your business as well. So I am recording today. If you do end up hopping on board late, I will be sending out this recording as well as the slides from this presentation for your review later. So let's get started. So like I said, we're going to talk about retaining clients by keeping them bought in. So some tools that you can use within the platform to keep your clients and athletes engaged and bought into their training, and working on accountability with them, engagement, like I said, and as also adding some variety to their training. We're going to primarily focus on Coach Home and TH Chat as our 2 major tools that we're going to use to do this. So starting with accountability, it's important, obviously, to hold your clients and athletes accountable to their training. And this can all start with establishing their why. So why it is that they're training. So if you are training with athletes and you're working with a sport team, and maybe their why is they want to win the state championship or something like that. It might be a little different if you're working with more personal training clients and you're working in a one-on-one setting and you have maybe an older demographic, and their why is that they just want to keep up with their grandkids. Or maybe you have some weekend warriors, so their why is they just want to be fit and healthy to be able to go hiking on the weekend with their dog. So whatever your client's why is, it is important that you guys have that conversation. You establish that with them so that you're both on the same page, and then you can set both long-term and like a larger long-term goal as well as short-term goals as stepping stones to get to that long-term goal. So in the TrainHeroic mobile app, on the settings, or excuse me, on the profile page, you'll notice that, so on this screenshot here, there is an option or a spot for your client or your athlete to put their why in there. So why is it that they're training? So you'll notice that when you hit the settings wheel of this that's on the screenshot here, it will bring you to this page here. And this is where your athlete or your client will be able to update any of their personal information, obviously, but also enter in that why are you training. So when their why is there, they'll always see that on their stats page here. So the stats page also will have details on the sessions they've completed, the volume they've lifted, and the reps that they've done in all of their workouts that they've logged through TrainHeroic. They'll be able to also see some graphs here with all of that data. So it kind of helps them keep some ownership to their training and keep them accountable, because they're always able to look back and remember why they're training. So hopefully this will help them with their accountability to it, their motivation and their dedication. And so it's always important to make sure that you're connected with them to be able to kind of circle back and give them some friendly reminders on reminding them why they're on this journey with you. Moving on to like engagement. So this is kind of where Coach Home comes into play. So this screenshot here is just a little image of what your Coach Home will look like from the web platform. So what you can see here is going to be a summary card of recent training or recent sessions that your clients have completed. So the summary card will tell you how many blocks that your client or athlete completed on what you prescribed to them. So you can see if they're completing their entire workout or not, or if they're maybe skipping some things. Their readiness score here is an average of 5 questions that they answer at the beginning of each session to kind of determine their status before training. Those questions assess mood, sleep, soreness, energy levels, and stress levels. So 1 through 5 on those, 5 being your best option, and 1 being the lowest score you could possibly have. So your average readiness score will show up right here. The duration of the session, how long it took the athlete or client to complete this session, is here. They will also be able to rank the intensity of the session, which is out of a scale of 10. So right now 5 is is a good score there. And then finally, if you are working with clients or athletes who are able to get in a weight room facility still and move some weight, it'll also calculate volume for them. So this will give you a quick snapshot of that day's training. And this allows you to quickly and easily review what's going on. And also maybe, keep an eye out for any like red flags. So maybe if Kyle reported a lower readiness score, this might be a good reason for me to want to reach out and, connect with him and see what's going on. Like, hey, saw your readiness score is a little bit, a bit lower than it is normally. What's happening? Are you stressed? Did you not sleep very well? It's a good way to get them engaged with you so you can communicate what's going on in their life if they have a lot of external life stressors going on, so that you can help maybe potentially modify their training moving forward if maybe they need a few extra rest days, or maybe you need to turn down the intensity of the training session or the volume even. The duration will also tell you some good things as well. So if maybe like you intentionally planned these sessions to only take an hour and, Kyle's taking 75 minutes to get through this session, might be a good touch point as well to kind of just say, hey, what's going on? Are we able to stay focused while in the weight room? Are you, maybe resting a little too much? Or are things difficult? Like, is this too challenging for you? And that's also what you can get here from this intensity score. So if they're always coming back with really high intensity scores, it might be, a good time for you to kind of dial it back a little bit to give them some rest and recovery so that they're not going to, get burned out or have any sort of, overtraining injuries or anything like that come up. And the volume is really good for you to keep an eye on as well. If, again, kind of like intensity, if you're hammering it hard on volume for a while, it might be a good idea to, just bring some awareness to that to make sure that you tone it back a little bit so that you do avoid any injury and any overtraining syndrome, or, other fatigue. On Coach Home, you'll be able to review the entire session as well by hitting the See More drop-down button here. And actually, I'm going to pull up my account here and we'll see if I've got any good data on my Coach Home. So when you first log in, Coach Home should be your default page. If not, you can hit this little home icon here or even the H in the top left. But you'll notice here that I can scroll through and look through the athletes who have recently completed sessions here. So for example, on Leah, if I wanted to look a little bit further into her session today, I can select See More, and this will show me the whole session and what she completed for all of the lifts that I prescribed. So what I can see here is if maybe she made any changes to the rep schemes that I've prescribed, or even if I had prescribed some weights, if she had made changes there, you'll notice that the letter icon here will actually be a gold color instead of green if your athlete or client made any changes. If there is anything I do want to connect with her about quickly, I can do that here from Coach Home really easily as I'm reviewing training sessions. So I can either send a direct message to a client or an athlete by selecting this button here. It will pull the session to the conversation because it's assuming you want to discuss something that happened in that session. If I want to have just a general conversation with her, maybe like touching base on any goal setting or anything like that, I can actually exit out of that session if I want and just type in my message here. And this will be just a private, direct conversation between Leah and I. Now, if I wanted to just comment on that particular day's training, so if I wanted to congratulate her on maybe a PR she set or maybe just some hard work that she did, I can select session comment. And this comment will actually tie directly to the session versus it kicking off a one-to-one conversation between us. So this is a great place for me to just show, hey, I'm reviewing your results. I see that you're working hard and you're putting in a lot of work and your effort is great. Appreciate it. This is a great opportunity for me to keep that engagement going and also just kind of give some daily celebration to the hard work that she's putting in on her training from day to day, so that it keeps her motivated, keeps her also engaged because she knows that you're engaged, the coach, and keeps her working towards her goals. So also on Coach Home, you'll notice here, I don't have one on my Coach Home to show you, but this athlete here, Kyle, he did attach a video. So if your athletes attach a video for like a form or technique check, they can attach it directly to the session and it will show up in Coach Home here for you to review really quickly. So you don't have to go searching on their calendar looking for any videos. So that's also a great place to stay engaged and connected with them, especially if you're working primarily remote. That'll allow you to review their technique and their form on particular movements so that they are performing it properly and safely. And you're really encouraging kind of that like digital FaceTime with them. This image here, I won't get into too deeply, but this is a leaderboard, and this is going to apply more if you are working with a team or you have your clients or athletes organized into teams. Leaderboards can only be programmed on team calendars. So again, if you're working more on a one-on-one basis and you're not really leveraging the team calendar, this won't quite apply to you. But you can leverage the leaderboard for some engagement and some daily competition between the clients that you have on that same team. So if you program a leaderboard activity, it will show to that group of athletes or clients that the activity is a leaderboard activity. The data that they're going to enter is going to be shared across the team so that they can see how they rank against their other team members on whatever movement or circuit or exercise that you decided to make a leaderboard activity. If you pull up the leaderboard on the web platform, it will look like this. Your athletes, as well as you, are able to pull the leaderboard from your mobile app as well. It will just be a slightly different screen. It'll be more of just a compressed list version than this image is here. But launching your leaderboard from web will give you this whole full display to kind of just show you an overall results of what your clients or athletes are logging for that leaderboard. And I'll just show you real quick back in my account here. You'll find your leaderboard down on your menu here under Gym Tools. So I'll select Gym Tools, and then from here, I'll launch the leaderboard. I won't launch it right now because I don't have any data to show you, but it would, if I did, it would look like this. And then next, touching on variety. So we don't have a true nutrition component within the app, within the platform. However, you can leverage TH Chat for nutrition related support and guidance for your clients or athletes. And you can do that by either encouraging them to send meal photos, or maybe you share healthy recipes, or maybe nutritional informational pamphlets like PDFs or websites, all of that, anything that can be hyperlinked can be linked into TH Chat, which is that direct message with your client or athlete to kind of help guide them and give them extra support, beyond just their strength training that they're doing within the weight room. So anything like a Google Doc, if you have maybe a Google Doc together that's like supposed to be their food diary or their food log, or any sort of PDF, websites, anything hyperlinkable, um, can be shared within TH Chat to help support your athlete or client. You can also leverage that for other variety in their training to kind of coach the whole athlete there. So if you wanted to provide resources on meditation, or maybe additional like recovery, mobility, yoga, any sort of additional things to help them be more well-rounded, out and give them support outside of the weight room, you can do that within TH Chat. And finally here, I just have a summary on basically everything that we touched on and kind of a recommended frequency to, engage in all of these activities to keep your clients engaged, motivated, and accountable to their training. So most things you can do pretty much on a weekly basis. There are some things I'd recommend you do more frequently, so on a daily basis. So obviously replying to session comments that they've left to you, or any messages that they send directly in TH Chat, because they're probably questions that are more pressing and they need maybe a more immediate answer, which will show that you're engaged and you're bought in as well. Everything else can probably be done more on a weekly basis, especially if you're trying to scale your business a little bit more. Really leverage Coach Home. It'll help you with that scaling. It'll help you with kind of maybe keeping an eye out first on those people who are maybe reporting abnormal readiness scores, abnormally low readiness scores, or maybe you can see that they're blowing through their workout and getting everything done in 30 minutes. So maybe they're not putting in the effort that you wish to see. And then again, there's other things that you can leave to a more monthly occurrence, like resetting some goals with your clients and your athletes, or also running like any of the analytics or reporting that we have within the platform. You could probably do more on a monthly basis as well if you wanted to see any sort of change in time and their progress on either lifts, or even just reviewing kind of how their readiness scores have changed over time. Things like that can be done a little less frequently if you're looking to kind of scale and save some time. All right, and that's all I have for you guys right now. If you have any questions, please go ahead and throw those in the Q&A box. If there's anything that maybe I went through a little too quickly, or if there's anything else you'd like to see within the, like maybe within my account here on the platform, I'd be more than happy to show you. We do have a few extra minutes here, so I'll give you a minute or two to type some stuff in. And it is also fine if you don't have questions right now. If you don't, and you think of them later, or when I send out this recording and you also receive these slides that you're reviewing them and something else comes up, or as you're setting up your account and you have a question maybe specific to the coaching business that you have, please don't hesitate to reach out. My email is Erin@TrainHeroic.com. I'd be more than happy to help you with any questions that you have. I'll also be sending out a link to book some time on my calendar for a one-on-one meeting, like some office hours that I offer. If you do have like a list of questions and you'd prefer to have a conversation about it, you can do that as well, book time on my calendar. Otherwise, email is also great, Erin@TrainHeroic.com. If you have any technical or support issues on your account, I'd also highly recommend that you visit our help desk at support.trainheroic.com. There are a lot of really great support articles on there that can help you with anything going on your account. And you also have within your account a help suite. And I do have a question coming in. Awesome. So the question was interested in how much you can customize stuff. So it kind of depends on what you mean by customize, but yes, you can customize a lot of things within the platform. So that can be anywhere from customizing your exercise library and making your exercise specific to your brand by you creating your own videos, or maybe you have different names for the movements that you like to use. You can also kind of brand the platform by, which I'll hop back into my account here. You can brand the platform a little bit by, adding in images on teams that you create. So if you are going to group your clients or athletes together on teams, you can add in an image, and that could be your logo. I'd also recommend on the top right corner here, you'll see my profile image, but I'd recommend that you update your profile image so it's your photo, because when you send your athlete invites, your photo will show up. And if you don't have a photo, it's your initials that are on your account. And so it'd be a little nicer to have a face to kind of match with the name if you're connecting with someone for the first time. If I hit this profile icon and I go to this drop down and go to my organizations, and then scroll halfway down here, I highly recommend you update this logo image. This is the image that you can see obviously is tied to your entire organization, which is your account. So if you create custom exercises, this image will show up here instead of the TrainHeroic H. So you'll notice that any movements that exist in the TrainHeroic library will have the H, except it's, I believe it's with the white background. This is obviously my image here. So any movements that you've created will have your own image on it because it'll show that it's different than from the TrainHeroic library. So I highly recommend adding a logo image here. This cover image doesn't matter really quite as much. Your clients will never really see this unless you decide to move forward with selling anything in our marketplace, which is kind of a whole different beast. So I highly recommend just updating this logo image here, your own profile image, and then also uploading any images on your teams that you have created. You can also upload images to programs you've created, which you can do in the settings. So if it's a program that you created, if you don't upload an image, it will do, again, like an abbreviation, like the initials of the title. So I'd recommend putting in an image there as well. So those are a couple of ways that you can do some kind of like branding and customizing of the platform. Great question. And then the last thing I wanted to point out when I was talking about kind of support and questions was this help suite. So this is this little guy here on the bottom left corner. So this gold support question mark. If you click on here, entering in any key search words will help bring up any support articles related to your search. So hopefully I'll help answer a lot of questions for you. But again, if there's anything that you can't find on the support site on our help desk, or any questions that come up further as you're reviewing these slides or watching this recording, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. My email is Erin@trainheroic.com. And that is all I have for you guys today. So thank you so much for your questions. Thank you for your time today. And I strongly recommend that you attend the other webinars if you have the opportunity to, because those will be very helpful and informative to you as well. So thank you for your time, and hopefully I'll see you guys again soon.